Now let's just go around the room and talk a little bit about, just give, like if you had to give a 30-second minute elevator pitch of who you are, go.
All right. I'm Dawn Feinberg. I own Ahana Yoga. We're in the Design District. We've been around for 8 years, and I was a professional dancer for a long time. And then I ruptured my Achilles tendon, and I found yoga. I also did a lot of drugs, and I went to AA to get cleaned up. And they kept talking about a higher power, which definitely was Jesus, and I'm Jewish. So there was parts of it that I didn't resonate with. And then I found kirtan, which is, in yoga, it's called bhakti, which is devotion. And we started singing and we sang. And I was like, I found God. And now everything started to make sense. And I was introduced to my singing teachers, and it wrapped around yoga perfectly. And so our yoga studio is based on creative movement, like Ashtanga Vinyasa, breath flow, but with a really strong spiritual background. So we can help elevate people and get them out of, any type of addiction, be it anything. I'm okay like with people that drink and stuff like that. You can do whatever you want and come to our yoga studio. But it just helps to have spirituality with a yoga practice. And I see a lot of yoga studios take out that spiritual component because it's more marketable, and we do the opposite.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
I think that might have been a minute and a half.
You're fine. That was awesome.
I love that.
Dawn. Anna brings out a lot of stuff that I feel like you've also dealt with as far as deep healing and things like that. Take me back to, you mentioned drugs, because I think that is something that a lot of people can relate to, because I personally went through it with family members and things like that. So talk to us about that transition of going from seeking drugs to now seeking wellness in a way that is almost like, and hear me on this, it's kind of similar. And what I mean by that is like,
Endorphins.
I find that breath work and cold plunging and sauna and yoga, like it damn near gives you the feeling of drugs, but obviously in a very healthy and wellness way. So talk about a little bit about that transition and like how you, I guess, found yourself through yoga. Would you say that's kind of what happened?
So you got the beginning of my life. So dance was like air, right? And then I met this tattoo artist. He slapped a tattoo on my back, and I moved to San Francisco with him. And he...
Oh, so you won. You stole him away from the
There you
goth
go,
girl.
the tattoo. It was a
Yeah,
tattoo.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
The surfer look worked.
Yeah. So I moved. Actually, he was living in San Francisco. He was a really famous tattoo artist, and he was in Philly for a second. He moved me out with him, and the first night I was out there, okay, wait. Let me just back up. I was born. This might freak you out. I was born in 1974. Okay, that's the Mario boat lift. Okay, so that, and it was also like Cocaine Cowboys. So I grew up with like...
You say Mario boat lift?
Boat lift is when Cuba...
You know what she's talking about?
No.
So Cuba in 1974,
Yeah.
they took all of the convicts and mental, like...
Oh, okay, yeah. I
and
knew
they
that.
threw
Yeah.
them
I didn't
into
know that
Miami.
was the name of
Yeah,
it.
They threw them
Miami.
into
Yeah.
Miami. That
Of
was the year I was
course.
born.
Oh, wow.
So,
Scarface.
That's how
Yeah.
Miami was born.
So yeah, so so growing up, I grew up in Miami, and there was like parties and just like cocaine everywhere. I grew up around drugs. Like it wasn't a big deal to me. But then I went to San Francisco, and the first night I was there, he smoked crystal meth. And I had never seen that before in Miami, but I was like, sure,
Yeah.
and so I smoked it, and I was like, it felt great.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I'm not hungry. I feel hot. Wow. I was like, let's go. I'm like, no, there was no, like, I wasn't like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. Like, it was like all like, yeah. And I have ADD, and I was like laser focused. I was like, I could solve the world's crisis right now. And then I didn't sleep. And then I didn't sleep. And then the next fucking day, he's doing it again.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know anyone there. And so I ended up doing it for 2 years straight.
Wow.
Anyway, I got myself out of it. I moved back to Miami, and I just stopped, just like that.
Cold turkey?
Cold turkey.
That's brutal.
My mom was there,
Okay.
and she was just, and I was like,
She had some support, like...
Yeah, but I stopped.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it, you know? And then in Miami, it was like, there was still cocaine everywhere. And I was like, keep at, like no can do, you know? Like anything white, away.
Yeah.
And then I met my husband. I went to AA because I was always a partier. You know, I was like, we got in a fight. I would go hit the bar. I would end up doing coke. I'd come back home, whatever. And he was like, Dawn, he was a doctor and he was like straight laced, like super straight laced. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, you better clean it up or I can't handle this. And so I went to AA and I realized there was just a disconnect. I didn't know where my higher power was. I couldn't find my higher power. So I started singing. It's called kirtan. And it was like, I call it like a phone line to God. And I just start singing and it's like a direct connection to the divine, to something greater than myself. And so I started incorporating that into yoga. And so yoga became way more than just a physical practice, but something that was steeped in spirituality. But what I have noticed and what I've heard you guys saying about bodybuilding, which I think is pretty interesting, is this addictive, and I try to like really be aware of this in yoga too, like the addictive personality type, changing the drug of choice, right? And then it being like the gym or the yoga class or like, you know, it instead of it being like where you grow, it becomes another crutch.
Yeah.
And so I'm finding that I had a 12-year period where I practiced yoga 2 days a week, 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. It's called Mysore. And it was almost like my drug. Like it kept me above water. And now that I'm a surfer, now I'm like, I surf a lot and I got injured surfing and I realized that it's a total body experience that we're missing in yoga is the posterior chain, is everything posterior. Because I would paddle and I would get injured in my rotator cuff because my back body isn't strong, anywhere near as strong as my front body. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna not take yoga one day and go to the gym, like, which was radical to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then it became like, if I want to surf hard, like I like to surf, I have to go 3 days a week to like, and that's how I met Justin, because I walked into the gym and I was like, I just need my posterior chain. I was like, I don't even know what to do to make it happen. I was like, it's just asleep. And and then I realized like yoga was like a drug and not in that good way, you know, like I had and then through coming to the gym and having more play within the different modalities, it becomes less addictive in one kind of pigeonholed way. And I could become friends with like Regine. And it was like meeting Regine is just an amazing experience.
How did y'all meet? Where did y'all meet?
Oh my God.
We shared a client.
No.
Before that?
Yes.
Tell me.
Okay, so Miss Dawn.
Not at the club, girl.
No,
you didn't
not
invite
the
me
club,
dancing.
no. Well, we do need to go cacao dancing with her. Anyway, so
Without the cocaine.
no, this is cacao. Not cocaine.
It might have some magic in it, but that's okay.
Yeah, it has a little boost. I like cacao.
Yeah.
It's very natural.
What are we talking about?
Cacao.
What's that?
It's like a spiritual hot chocolate.
No, this is
It's like hot chocolate.
ceremonial cacao.
Like cocoa?
No.
Yes.
No, yes, but okay.
Yes and
Like
no.
chocolate cocoa?
Yes. I can't believe you've never had
Cacao.
It's called cacao. It's from
Okay,
the cacao
I'll bring you
leaves.
some ceremonial cacao.
I'm seeing like the commercial right
and
now.
you
Like,
have to meditate.
cacao! 2 scoops for you.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you okay, go
Is
ahead.
it like caffeine?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it-
like hot chocolate.
It's
like
a
hot
heart
chocolate.
opener.
It's a what?
It's a heart opener. Cacao is a heart opener.
So it's a mushroom?
No.
It's a
It's a cacao bean.
Let's
It's a-
step it back a second. It's like hot chocolate.
Okay.
It tastes like hot chocolate, really dark hot chocolate.
All right.
But it is like super organic and it's from the cacao
Plant.
plant.
Yeah.
And it's oftentimes used like to have like you're consciously drinking, like you're very like you're drinking intentionally.
Intentionally. Inward.
It's
open.
bitter. It's not sweet, and it's so beautiful because it's like a little seed that comes in this beautiful plant. It's like a fruit, right? So it comes like a little seed, and from that you make this, and they call it heart opener because
Should have done that today, ladies.
I would have brought it.
God, you didn't
I
bring
have
the
it at
cacao.
home.
Oh my
All right,
God.
go
I don't know
ahead.
how cool you were going to do
Tom.
that, you don't know.
All right.
Anyway, so
I'm cool with everything. It's all good.
okay, so I met her through her, and I would see her here and there, and then I started taking yoga classes. I would go to her studio.
Yeah.
And, I really wanted to be her friend, but still, very distant. And then, I'm like,
We don't just pop in and like, wait, can we be friends? So why can we just be like that?
You
Like,
walked it.
I have to feel in. I'm very about energy.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm very sensitive when it comes to that. And so I held space, and then we had a common client of ours, which I love to death. And we were working together. And I think that just the combination of everything, strength training, she would come and train with him. And then we just became friends. And then now looking back, like everything, you plant so many seeds, and wherever you go, people are just, they're meant for you to meet them for any reason or whatever reason it was. And I met Dawn 6 years ago on and off, like, very seldomly, here and there. But what's led to this year, which has been something so beautiful, and I'm so grateful to her, is that this year my intention was like, at the beginning of the year, I was so broken after divorce and all these things, right? I know, I get so emotional. Anyways, my intention was to hold myself accountable and show up for myself in a more spiritual way through practice of yoga, meditation. And so I went to an ashram in the Bahamas, and I went by myself. I was like, my sister-in-law and my brother are very spiritual. And so I wanted to kind of step out and be like, no, I'm going to the Bahamas to go drinking, and I'm going to, isolate myself. And she's like, no, go back to yourself. And if I can teach you something, is don't run away from yourself. You've been doing all this work, go back to the center, right? And so I went to the Bahamas. I meditated. I did kirtan. Yoga by the beach. And I was like, God, I'm all about faith. And it was just what I really wanted. And I arrived there. And my intention at the beginning of the year was like, I really want yoga to be part of my life. And moving forward, a couple months passed by, and I got a text message from Dawn. And I was with you that night, coming from Fort Lauderdale. I'm driving. And I get a text message, and I'm like, okay, I'm driving. I was like, shit, okay, no, I got to look at what Dawn has to tell me. She's like, I want you to come. And I was like, I don't know if I can be away for that many days, which what we're talking about is a yoga teacher training. It's 9 days in Costa Rica, right?
Okay.
So she hosts this. And so I was driving, and I'm like, God, this is a sign. This is what I wanted. I planted the seed. I manifested something. I have an intention. This is what you want me to follow, right? And so I was like, Dawn, if I can make it happen, I will. But, and she's like, what if I tell you there's like a little angel, this and that? And I was like, there's no way this lady's telling me this. There's no way Dawn is telling me this.
One of my yoga students who's so interesting, he gives scholarships once in a while. And he, just out of the blue, he was like, I'd like to give a scholarship to a student. And of course, as like a business person, I'm like, how do I don't know the word, like, how do I parlay this? And, like Instagram, like, like a raffle, or let's like
who do I select? Like, yeah.
And like, how can I market this,
right.
to my, and so I was like, it's such a good promotion, and we could get more likes and more follows and more, I gotta have people lighting their hair on fire, and like, like whatever, we go viral. And Regine, like, she said it quick, but we shared this with this client. Can we say it?
I don't like to say names.
Okay, so this one of our mutual clients, he's a basketball player, was so dear to my heart too. And I loved him. I still love him so much. And he would come, and he had insomnia, and he would call me, and we would practice like 5 days a week, and just similar to Regine, when I was raised like to teach privates, I'm not allowed to take my hands off of somebody for the whole hour. Like, I'm assisting them the entire hour. So it kind of surprised me in the workout world where trainers would be on their phone, and I would be like,
Oh my god.
and I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, you know, like I get it. I get it if I'm like, hey, can you take a story of me so I can post it?
Eating.
But like, who are you talking to besides my bicep? Like, I don't know where my posterior chain is. Like, can you fucking figure it out for me?
Yep.
And touch it and like, I couldn't.
But hold on. Say that out loud one more time.
The phone.
For every single damn trainer out there.
Oh my god, yes.
How can you be on your phone?
Or eating.
Oh God.
Well, I never had an eater. I never had somebody
I had
eat.
somebody eating, like
Eating?
But your
while they're-
trainer eating?
Yes.
But that's the bodybuilder world.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta get in my 6 meal protein.
Every 3 hours, I gotta eat. I'm sorry.
So I have I've taught a lot of NBA players. Like there was a hot 2 years where I was like ba 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 ba, and I was always amazed by how elegant they are moving wise. You know, so much like I did a lot of ballet. It was like very like a ballet dancer. But with this client that we shared, he would come to me and be like, Dawn, I just did arms, Dawn. You know, like really like, come on, Dawn. And I'd be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. You just did arms. Like, what does that even mean? You know? So I'm like, I have to get to the bottom of this. And I was like, Regine, is there any way that I could be with so-and-so and do what he's complaining about so I know what I should do and what I shouldn't do yoga-wise?
Which is amazing. That's very smart of you.
Yeah.
Because most people, what I don't like is when practitioners don't speak to each other.
Yeah.
So like, I'm working with a professional athlete right now, and he's also working with a physical therapist, an osteopath, a chiropractor, a massage therapist, and I'm in touch with all of them.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because you have to know what they're doing, so
Yeah.
you don't do something that's like doubling what they're doing or not supporting that or against. And so that's very smart.
It was at a time where I also like didn't know the workout world as well as I do now.
Now you got them guns.
Hey.
And so Regine was like, yeah, of course, come.
That's great.
And so so I just wanted to say that. And then I was like, I felt so cariñoso, like I loved this person so much and I wanted to protect him so much, you know. And I was like, who's training him? I'm gonna beat them up.
Jealous.
And then I was never jealous. I was mad at one of his other trainer. I was mad at somebody once that hurt his feelings. And I just wanted him to have a lot of love because I feel like the
For the record, I've probably hurt a lot of feelings training professional athletes.
Yeah.
So
like, you know, there's
sometimes their feelings need to be hurt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
In a good way. In a good way.
Totally. So I needed to, you know, cut through the bullshit. I just wanted to see what was on the other side. Like, is it really arms day?
Right.
You know? Or
Because a lot of times they're full of shit. So.
Is it because you can or you don't want to?
Right.
Correct.
Exactly. No, and that's a true statement.
I wanted to like see, and then I saw Regine in action, and I was like, she's got the heart, and she's got the like whip, and it was like a perfect combination. And I was
the
like,
biceps.
like, like, and I was just, it made me feel so like I felt like whatever we could do for this athlete was like that now it's up to him. You know what I mean? But we were doing our best, and that meant a lot to me. And I think you're such an amazing trainer, and I love the fact that you're like perfectionist. When you're at work and you're training somebody, it should be that. That should be the main focus.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you gave her the retreat for free.
Yeah.
So that's how this all came.
So she
And when was this
So
retreat?
I didn't make it a viral Instagram thing. I never even said
Oh, you didn't like put her on
because
blast?
no, because she was like,
Obviously to make her talk.
she was like, if I can make it, I will. But she said something, and I was like, and then that person came and was like, I want to give somebody a scholarship, and I was like, bro, she's a single mom, she's got 2 kids, she's got a great practice, she loves yoga. Do you want to? And I was like, I was just like, and then she was like,
I started crying.
When was this though? When did you go?
No, they haven't.
It's in 2 weeks.
Oh, you haven't even gone yet.
No.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Congrats.
yeah,
Yay.
Enjoy it.
thank you. I'm looking forward to
Costa
it.
Rica is amazing.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Well, I haven't been there yet.
You're going to love it.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Being able to spend time with you and learning from you, because this is something that I intentionally wanted to do this year. And who's best? Somebody who also not just does the yoga practice, but also the spiritual side of it, which I'm into that, right? And I appreciate that so much. And just to be able to go to these classes and be able to learn from you and the beautiful mentors that you've assigned as well, I think is everything just makes sense, right? And for me, what's happened with training too, it's been such big transition, because before was like all in or nothing, right? Like perfection. You got to do this, or there's no other ways of. It was all like you're coming in, you're putting all this hard work, and guess what? You're going back home, and then you're going back to a broken self, right? Because that's where we find ourselves in the gym is, okay, let's run away from our problems, let's de-stress here, and let's work on what we know it's quick to fix since we've been young, right? And so with yoga practice and, also doing a lot of other things within the process of being divorced and whatnot, everything just correlates, right? Everything just sinks in together, and it's more an inside job now, an inside work where even now when I train my clients, they're like, oh, you just came from a retreat. I can tell. I'm like, no judging. We are here to breathe. Let me tap in. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
No.
I don't know if I like this, Regine. I'm like, oh, damn it. Okay, strong. Okay, let's go. Hard. And I'm like, oh, shit, no. Hold on a second. Hey, how are you feeling today?
Oh no.
So it's like,
So now you're a soft ass trainer? Is that what you're trying to say?
no.
I'm like a completely different person when you put me in the gym.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
I'm always like, with my clients, every mindset, because I coach mindset, right? So holistic health and mindset. And when they see me, we're talking about emotions, we're healing inside.
Yeah.
I'm like, you come visit me to Miami. I'm like, remember you like me, okay? But once we step into these doors, I'm somebody else.
Yeah.
Like something possesses me. I don't know. I'm
In the
like,
gym.
oh my God. I become
Different
like,
personality.
if you stop, you start all over again. Okay. Just saying,
I had
it's
to
okay.
completely change the way I went into the gym when I became a gym owner.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I used to think that the weights were like my enemy.
Yeah.
So I used to like literally a switch would go off and it was like going to war. It was like you step in the gym and it's like, oh, you're not winning today. And then I was very obsessive with like, if I said I was going to do 4 sets of 8, then it was always 4 sets of 9 or 10. If I said I was going to do 30-second sprints, I did 35 seconds.
Yes.
Everything was like to outdo myself and to beat myself. Cool. But then I started like snapping at members and snapping at people because I was in my thing.
Right.
And I was justifying it because I was in my thing. Like, no, I'm working out. This is just how I act. And then I was like, wait a minute, I own the gym. I can't act like this, because you get people start talking about, say, that dude is a jackass. He's rude. He's mean. And it was just because and it was only when I was working out, but you're working out for an hour, 2 hours in your own gym. You're interacting with a lot of people. So quickly I had to totally change that personality. And actually now it makes working out so much more fun.
Yeah.
Like now I actually enjoy it instead of it being like, killing myself. So even though I still try to kill myself, but I do it and laughing at members and high-fiving and like having a good time. So
Like an interesting comment and we kind of like went on a really cool little conversation. But what's cringy? That's what you said.
yeah.
Like what's cringy
In the industry, like when you see stuff out there that you're, I don't want to say peers, but maybe people in the same space, and you see it because it happens with me. I mean, I see it, I'm like, oh God, why are they telling these young kids this? So I'm just curious, like,
I've got I've got a few of those.
Okay, talk.
Things.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. I think first I'm like,
Audience, look at me.
I'm like, yoga is huge. It's almost like saying like the ocean.
Yeah,
Like, people are like, oh, you do yoga. And they already they're like, there's so many preconceptions about what that is, so that's number one. Number two, Instagram has really ruined yoga. Like yoga is not about doing a handstand or, Aloe has changed the face of yoga. Aloe, so I started a clothing line to combat Aloe yoga. But no, and what I find and you're talking about women specifically.
Yes, yeah.
What I think is, this is my kind of thing where I'm at right now, because I'm in this level in my career that I get to know these women that have a big following or have this amazing body, and they're almost like superstars in their own field. I'm now friends with them, and the demystification of the woman's body, which I think is so interesting, because you have somebody that looks like these girls, right? And then you'll have like another girl just hate on them. Just be like, she's just built like that. Like, oh, she just got it like that. Or I'm not going to do that. And we live in...
Well, they do just wake up like this.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Well, this is,
You're not working at all. You just wake up like that.
And it's the same thing in the yoga world.
Yeah.
Like, there's girls that will do handstand presses and stuff, and they're like, oh, well, she's just like that.
Yeah.
But no, if you do want to do a handstand in a yoga class, which handstands are not part of the yoga practice, so you better lock it in when you're in yoga. If you're going to do a handstand, it better be on point. You got to drill it. If you want to look like this, you got to work at it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also not yoga. Yoga is the union of your body, mind, and spirit. Mm-hmm. So people throw around the ideals of yoga, and there's so much to work through in terms of like, there's so many levels of what yoga is. It's not like a bicep curl. There's like 600 spans of what yoga is. And what I find is so significant is yoga is spiritual. Mm-hmm. And the thing that makes me like crazy, it makes me like want to rip somebody apart, is that they're taking out Sanskrit, which is like all the yoga poses are in Sanskrit, which is like, the word asana, and like you've heard that word before, it's asana and tadasana and all of these, there are words that are, so every pose ends in asana. So asana means seat. So like when you sit in meditation, you find your seat, right?
Stillness.
Like stillness, and you find your seat. Every single pose, you can reach enlightenment because every pose has a seat. So like Trikonasana, triangle pose, we all know that pose, right? So it's called Trikonasana because you should be able to breathe and find your seat within each posture. And they want to take the word out, like take they want to make a triangle and not that makes me like bananas.
Right.
And they're doing teacher trainings and they're not teaching the words of the poses. And so if you want to know what makes me cringe and crazy, it's taking out the essence of the practice.
Listen, those names are so hard. Trikonasana.
Oh no, you don't want to see me in yoga. No.
But it's like, so these words,
it's
my teacher is a philosophy Sanskrit teacher. I meet with her once a week. She's as close to enlightened as possible. And so Sanskrit, there's 5 places on the top of your mouth, and you can hit it with different parts of your tongue. Like Indian people speak like their tongue world is back in their mouth. So your tongue can hit 5 different places on the tops of your mouth, like almost like acupuncture. And it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can unlock the codes of the universes by the different ways that you put your tongue on your mouth.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Listen.
Never heard that one before.
Listen.
Like, just think about this. Like,
Fascinating.
think about like Marilyn Monroe and Happy Birthday to JFK, right? Like she's like, Happy birthday. So that's how we speak in our culture, is like, hi Manning, how are you? But all of your life force
is out.
All of your life force is flying out.
Yeah.
Right.
In yoga, we're training to bring it back in and control it and bring it in here, and then
It's beautiful.
actually direct where your life force wants to go.
It's very very intentional.
Wow. It's intentional and
Yeah.
it's layered, and people should have they should be practicing yoga all the time. If they're going to teach yoga, they should I had a 2-year apprenticeship like
Well, it's the same thing that's happening. Well, not the same thing, but it's very similar in what we're seeing in the training world also. Like everybody's
Anybody
a trainer.
can be a trainer.
Everybody's a trainer. You can get a certification for $29.99 at the local expert reading, online, digital, like whatever, you know what I mean? And it's ridiculous. And, I went to school for it and have multiple certifications, and it's like, it is frustrating. But I will also say it's the reason why we get paid what we get paid and they get paid what they get paid. So it's, that's something I would lean into knowing that you are a professional, knowing that you are there's a separation between an amateur hour and a real true practitioner of yoga.
Yeah.
You know, so lean into that. You know,
Yeah.
like lean into the fact that you're the OG. You know what you're doing. You know,
just share more
and
of
highlight
that.
that,
Yeah.
and so that you're
Yeah.
not messing up your own chakra. Is that the word? You know? With
Your own vibe.
Yeah.
And you
Your
also
own
call it
vibe.
your bob,
All
your
right,
mood.
your mood.
Bob.
You know.